British authorities have detected almost 7,000 migrants crossing the English Channel in small boats from France so far this year. The total for 2022 exceeded 45,000. British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak has repeatedly pledged to, in his words, stop the boats. So Britain signed a deal with Kigali last year, which would see an unspecified number of migrants flown there for processing, asylum and resettlement, with no right to appeal. Britain has already paid Rwanda $150 million under the agreement.
It's novel, it's ambitious, but I believe it is compliant with our international obligations.
But judges at the European Court of Human Rights disagreed. Just as the first plane was about to take off for Rwanda last June, the court issued what's known as a Rule 39 injunction, blocking the flights on the grounds that they likely breach the Council of Europe's Convention on Human Rights, to which Britain is a signatory. The Council of Europe is not part of the European Union. In response, the British government has introduced new legislation which would override European court decisions. The bill is currently being debated in Parliament. And at a meeting of the Council of Europe this week, Prime Minister Sunak said he would try to persuade European partners to reform the court itself.
We want to make sure that the European Court is always conducting itself in a way which is fair, which is effective, which is transparent.
Some analysts say Europe is not in the mood to negotiate with Britain after the country's exit from the EU.
I'm not necessarily sure that they will go the extra mile to go and enter into reform of yet another sort of European institution to please Mr. Sunak and his hardline government when it comes to migration.
Some members of Sunak's Conservative Party want Britain to quit the Council of Europe and its Convention on Human Rights. The last country to leave the organisation was Russia, expelled last year after its invasion of Ukraine.
Faced with the threats of rights, you give us what we want, so we just leave the European Convention of Human Rights and the Council of Europe, the answer could very well be, well, let's go ahead and be a pariah state, just like Russia is. I think it would be a mistake for Britain to do that at the moment, especially, as I say, given that we have a war next door.
Just over a quarter of the migrants arriving on small boats in 2022 were Albanian. Britain has deported over 1,000 back to their home country. The Albanian Prime Minister said last month that Britain was having a nervous breakdown over migration. Henry Ridgwell for VOA News, London.